Hello, everyone. I am your host, Guido Perino, and pulling us back into rock and roll roots on the Path Radio Spotlight is vocalist Gene Potts of the soaring hard rock band Colossal Street Jam. Along with Gene, the band includes Sal Mara on guitars and vocals, Tony Flora on bass, Dave Halpert on drums, and Eric Safka on keys. They've been percolating the music scene the last few years and are brewing a hit that we're going to talk about today, among other cool band stuff with Gene. Gene, welcome to the Path Radio. Thank you for being here today. How are you doing?
Doing great. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. And I know just before the show there, we were chit-chatting a little bit about our tattoos.
Yeah.
And you have a wicked sleeve tattoo.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. It's
It's
the one thing that helps me stand out besides the silver hair I've had forever.
It looks blonde from here. It looks blonde. Look at the tattoo though. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're sporting a microphone there too on there?
Yeah, the microphone's on the forearm there, inside the forearm. So, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna ask a question everybody gets asked when they see somebody like with a tattoo like that. Did it hurt?
The elbow definitely hurt. So
yeah?
it's not my first one. A lot of this is cover up. So I've had some old ones, but nothing really hurt except for that elbow. That was difficult.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much hurt?
On the elbow?
Yeah.
9 or 10.
Wow.
But everything else was fine. I was used to it, but that elbow hurt. Wrist a little bit, but more that elbow.
got the identity. I know when I got my first one, the thing that hurt the most was when they colored it in, because I got colors in. The color in really was the one that I approached that sort of 7-8 threshold, but it's higher up on the arm, not like you on the elbow, I think, where there's all the sensitivity and stuff, But
right, the underarm is rough too. That was
my God. I can't even think about it.
So you're talking about coloring. Everything I have is shaded. It's all black shaded. That's so
wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it took a while. It was like 4 or 5 sittings of a couple hours each.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was that all in a, just curiosity? I know it's not a tattoo session, but just curiosity. Was that like, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, or did you have time in between?
Oh yeah, we had time in between, like a week or so in between.
Oh,
so
okay,
it was it looked kind of funny at first, it was kind of half done, and the microphone was first, and then, I had some stuff that needed to be colored in or shaded over. So he would do that first. So it looked like somebody just drew with crayon all over my arm.
That's wild.
But then we pieced it all together.
It's a passage into rock and roll, that tattoo, right? So
I guess I'm the only one in the band with one. Oh, actually, no, our drummer has one on his shoulder, but yeah, I'm the only one in the band with a tattoo.
The front man. The front man's got to have the tattoos, Gene. The front man's got to have the tattoos. Listen, the other thing I was going to say to you, I don't know if it's appropriate, but I was going to say happy belated Thanksgiving. Is it too late? Like,
no, it's a week. It's a week or two. Yeah. Right? Appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, we had a nice Thanksgiving.
I know with you guys in the States, it's like the Thanksgiving's late, and then you're already approaching Christmas. And for us here in Canada, it's early in October, way before Halloween even, right? So if I have turkey on Thanksgiving, then it's like by Christmas I can have turkey again. I don't know, like in the States, you turkey and ham or whatever.
Yeah, my mom does turkey and stuffed shells, or some sort of pasta. So yeah, it's when was it? It's the last Thursday of the month. So you figured it was a week ago.
Yeah,
about a week and a half ago. Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah. Now look, if this was a show on tattoos and cooking, right? Like, wow, we'd be rocking. But I think we're here to talk about music, and we're here to talk about Colossal Street Jam music. And why don't we start with the name, CSJ? Where was the name Colossal Street Jam born? How did this come to be?
You ever see the show Futurama?
Yeah. Oh.
You know Bender?
Yeah.
Bender is voiced by an actor, a voice actor. His name is John DiMaggio.
Okay.
He's a close friend of ours for a long time. And the first time he saw us and he was hanging out with us and saw the band, he said, "This is like one big colossal street jam." And that's where the name came from, because we're all influenced by different things. There is a 70s influence that runs through all of us, but that's where it came from. It's just the band was jamming. everybody had a different style, and he just came up with that, and we were like, oh man, Colossal Street Jam, that's awesome. And that's what and it stuck.
And it just stuck. I like the fact that, there's that sort of bullet logo. It has your Colossal Street Jam. I just like the how it's nice and clean and has
It's the
identity.
manhole cover.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
I'm looking at having a closer. Perfect sense, right?
Yep.
Yeah, right on. I love it. Some identity to go with it. Look, so I mentioned all the band members, and you kind of said, hey, we got this. We all come together in a kind of different way. How did you come together? Like, how'd you find each other, or is this like long-term friendships, or?
Yeah, a little bit of everything. Sal and Tony were jamming together at first, and this is quite a ways back when we were younger in our teens, and so those guys were together. And then I met Sal through a drummer. We had a drummer playing in a metal band. I'm into everything, so I was doing metal, I was doing classic rock type stuff. I like R&B, so I was jumping around playing in different bands, and this drummer was sitting in with those guys, so it just kind of clicked. And that became the early roots of Colossal. And that was me, Sal, and Tony. And then what ended up happening is we took quite a bit of time off, stayed friends through thick and thin. And then we decided to put it back together. And we had another drummer with us, but what we were looking to do, he wasn't looking to do. Great drummer, but just didn't want to move forward and tour or put albums out and play out a lot. And we just decided we had to move forward. So we got Dave Halpern, and Dave's played with everybody from John Eddy to trying to think of the name of his other band. Oh, Love in Reverse, Mr. Reality, all these signed acts. Also played drums, and he'll kill me for saying this. He played on a session for the last Bee Gees record.
Oh.
So he actually has a platinum record. So
the
yeah,
Bee Gees,
pretty cool, awesome. Right?
It is.
And then Eric came along through mutual friends, doing shows together. And Eric is he's our Hammond organ player, and he's we call him the human carnival. He's just insane. He's got that Hammond almost on its side at times, and between him and Sal running around on stage and going nuts, it's quite a show to see.
Now, are you guys based out of New Jersey?
Based out of New Jersey, yeah.
Yeah, New Jersey.
New Jersey, yeah. No, nobody says it like that.
Talk on it. Look, I introduced you as a hard rock band, and I know you've shared the stage with the Black Crowes, I think Stone Temple Pilots, Rival Sons, a little bit of Canadiana, Sebastian Bach, Robbie Krieger. The list goes on, right?
Yeah.
Am I being too generic if I say that your sound is hard rock? Is that an improper label if I was labeling you? Or
I think it's a little bit of everything. I think the band's diverse. I think we cover all the genres of what you love about 70s rock. There's ballads, there's instrumentals, there's poppier rock songs, and then we have our edgier tunes as well. So I think we just cover all the angles except for country or metal. But yeah, there's a little bit of everything in what we do.
I'm gonna throw this out there, and you can tell me if I'm crazy. I do this every once in a while, talking to different bands and whatever. I heard a little bit of Bruce Springsteen and E Street Band in there. Am I off?
In what song?
Your last one that we're gonna talk about. I don't want to give it away, but your most recent one.
Yeah, no, there's no influences of Bruce in this band.
No,
we are from the Asbury Park area. I'm literally sitting about 6 miles from Asbury Park right now. But right. Yeah, but that's not really our thing. The Bon Jovi and the Springsteen, although we respect it, it's really not in our music. I don't think anybody's influenced by that, but we do respect it, and it is from the roots are where we're from for sure.
It's okay. Like, listen, this is the truth. I'm deaf in one ear, so sometimes I'm not kidding you.
Listen, man,
I really am.
If you think it sounds like Bruce and you like it, then that's all fine by me.
My golly, it can sound whatever we want if we like it. Do you draw any comparisons to other bands that you're proud of, saying, yeah, man, we draw a comparison to that band and we're good with that? Is there what's that?
Grand Funk Railroad.
Yeah.
Deep Purple. Bad Company, we get that from time to time. Black Crowes. So yeah, I think we fall into the vein of those bands.
Yeah, and it's funny you say Bad Company, and as you're saying that, I'm going, yeah, I can. There's probably some influence, Bad Company influence there too. Um, I know you got a new single, and we're gonna get to that. And I want our listeners to stay tuned for that. But I want to ask about your debut record release. It was called Living Free. It's an
Mhm.
album that gained global press in the indie music scene. They ate it up. The same thing happened with your Just Take Hold single from the same title album.
Mhm.
Um, why do you think the indie scene gave you so much love?
Well, two reasons. One, I think that was the most accessible scene for us. You know, we pushed hard. We had a publicity company really pushing our music.
Okay.
I also think that the indie scene is a little more open and accepts all different styles of music. You
Okay.
know, the mainstream, you know what the mainstream is. You know, you're not finding the Black Crowes on your regular radio station unless you're listening to a classic rock
Right.
station. You know, your pop station is going to play your Taylor Swift and your, you know, your 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 rap and your stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, I like
Nothing
some of
wrong.
that
Nothing
music as
wrong. I
well.
got it. Yeah.
But I think the indie scene is just an open scene that, you know, everybody's got it's diverse. Everybody has their different thing, and they can like, you know, if you like an indie band that's a metal band, you may like a band like us, you know, because you're open minded. And yeah, I was shocked when all that stuff started coming in, and I was like, what, Australia? We're getting played in Australia, you know? So
Thank you,
um
Australia, though. Thank you,
yeah,
Australia.
and it just
Yeah.
happened again. We just the song that we're going to
Yeah.
talk about. This was number one on a conglomerate in Australia again, and it's a radio
Right.
conglomerate. So it's like, what's going on? How's this happening? But you know, now we have some juice behind us, so it's good.
Do you see yourself as an indie band?
Well, I guess we are. You know, we're
Yeah.
not a mainstream band for sure, and we're not globally known, and we're not.
Let me ask it a different way.
Okay.
If you were seen if mainstream was more of what you were seen as, would you still consider yourself an indie band? I think is that
Yeah, I
your
think
roots? Will
in,
that
in the
always be your roots?
Yeah, I think so. I
Yeah.
think so. I think we're an independent. We do things on our own. We enjoy the way that we do things. We're stuck in our ways. We do have some people
Mm.
involved now, but they're letting us be us. So yeah, I still think unless you know we sell 5 million albums and all of a sudden I'm touring, then you know maybe I'll change my mind about that. But for right now, I'll
I
stick with the indie label.
I don't know. For me, I've always liked that whole idea that you hang on to your roots, like, but I also will watch Rocky Balboa 5 days a week if it's on TV and I have the
You're talking
DVD.
my language, my friend. I was growing up. I
Right?
grew up right in that area. I was
Oh,
born and
really?
raised in Philadelphia. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Rocky, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Philadelphia Phillies, that's all in my DNA.
Yeah, for me, it was always just like, you hang on to your roots, never forget where you come from, because that's when your purest things kind of seem to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Um, with the two albums released in 2016 and then 2018, and I don't know if this is what you meant when you said, well, we took a little bit of a break too.
Mm-hmm.
Did the pandemic kind of break the momentum in any kind of way with the music journey, or?
Yeah, that and a
Yeah.
couple other things. And both Sal and I had cancer. So
Oh, wow.
and we both fought and we beat it. You know,
Congratulations.
Sal had, thank you. I had it first, and then Sal, it was me, and then COVID, and then Sal had lymphoma. So he had a hard fight, much harder than mine, and he went through months and months of chemo. But
Wow.
he's doing amazing, and that's why, you know, we started the song that we're going to talk about started before it started before the pandemic. You know, we started writing and recording that song before then. So then we wrote the rest of the record in the studio as, you know, time allowed, because of getting into studios because of the pandemic and us getting together. And we wrote a record that feels like a concept record, but it's really was not intended to be. It's just really a dismal, lyrically, it's really a tough record, you know. But it doesn't sound, when you listen to the music, some of it just sounds upbeat, and you could dance to it maybe, you know, but the
Right.
lyrics are not the happiest for sure.
So let's get to it, right? We have danced around here for a little bit. You did really the new song, No Way to Live. And it's funny that you described it the way you did, because I was going to say to you, look, it's got that catchy intro. It weaves into some head bobbing. There's foot tapping. There's rhythm. Then you come in. You got your raspy vocals coming in. It just seems to have all the makings and versatility of a song. It can be played in the car. It can be played at a party. It can be played over refreshments in your bar. We could let loose at a bar with it. But like you said, I could do all these things, but then if you listen a little bit more closely, right? And so those events influence the song that you talked about.
Right, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. And No Way to Live itself was written before the pandemic, but it was really written about, people that are having a hard time around us, people that were down and out. And, it ended up taking its own life. And in the new video that we have out, it kind of leans towards something else, veterans and just people that are having a rough time. And that wasn't supposed to be the theme of the record, but it kind of ended up being that way. And all the songs are done, and they all have, it goes from, people struggling to anxiety to depression to, losing loved ones to, but you listen to the songs and you're like, oh, I like this song. This is
right.
Oh, wait a minute, what's he saying? So yeah, it's a very diverse record. And I think when you hear it, you'll know what I mean when I say that we're not really you can't label the band as a hard rock band. There's just a diversity there that we really never had before. I mean, we tried, but this record, we just really fell back on all our roots. And I think people are going to like it.
In part, you're answering my next question, which I was going to say, because I think when I listened to No Way to Live, and I was, going, wow, this is making me feel this way, or I could do, play it in all these different environments. And then I thought, how did they create something that has such a broad reach, like that is so diverse in the song? Now you're telling me the whole album's got the diversity, and I'm getting excited. But how do you create a song that has that broad of a range? Like, did it just happen, or was there a plan and you guys, had to work really hard to make that happen, or it just happened?
It just organically happens, I think, through
Yeah.
the writing process. Sal always comes in. He's the man with the riffs. So he'll have an idea and he'll come in and he may have some parts, and then we all piece it together. And then he may have a melody that he's thinking of when he's writing, the riffs, or he might, sometimes Sal has lyrics, and sometimes I have some, and then we mesh them together, and we try and go for a common theme. But this song just came from the riff and then writing all together, then everybody having their parts. Dave, our drummer, is a master arranger, so that's always good. Eric's always got some really great ideas, and Tony just lays a foundation down with the bass. So everybody has their say in their part, and it just works together. So this one just came together over, it wasn't a long time. It was a short period of time, that from the time that he brought the riff in to the time we got into the studio. So, it really just came.
Simple, raw, organic. It just kind of evolved that way. Gene, you talked about the video on your YouTube channel. It hasn't been out very long, right? And I think it was like the last time I looked, there were 3,000 views, and it just was out for a few days. So
9 days now it's been out.
9 days. What's going on there? Tell us about the video.
Well, the video is for No Way to Live, obviously. And it's about a Vietnam vet who's down and out, lives in a car, struggling through life, meets somebody, they steal stuff from him, and he's back to square one, right? It's one day, and then the next day he's back at it again. So yeah, it's just something that we thought would be, the song was kind of written, like I said, about people that are down and out. And we know people that are vets that are going through some hard times, and that's where the video came about.
Yeah. Good theme and good representation there.
Yeah, and no political statements. It's more just, hey, there's people that are down and out, and we shine a little light on somebody, and then maybe, somebody gets some help, let's hope.
Yeah, just regular thinking about somebody else for a change, right? Gene, I mentioned earlier about your voice, and I hear a little bit of it when we talk. So is this like when you sing, is that something you turn on? Is it something organic to you? Is it something you practiced, or
talking about my raspiness in my voice?
Yeah, see, like that. There you
go. Actually, I do. I play music all the time, so I do over 200 shows a year.
Oh,
whether it
wow.
be with Colossal Street Jam or with doing, some cover stuff, acoustic, hard rock. So I'm always singing. So over the years, I used to have a really high end when I was younger. And just through the wear and tear, and I
Yeah.
went to voice lessons for 4 or 5 years. I studied with Rosemary Conti. Her son are Steve and John Conti. John plays bass from Southside Johnny to Billy Joel. Steve Conti's played with everybody from Michael Monroe to the New York Dolls. So and Blood, Sweat, and Tears. They were both in Blood, Sweat, and Tears. So I
Right.
studied with Rosemary for years. And then after I, stopped, I got my own style. And then it became, I was really into the R&B and soul and the edgier vocals and just my voice turned into the way it is. And can I turn it on? I could turn it on a little more than normal, but I'm very raspy all the time. I can sing a ballad, I can sing sweet, but it takes a lot. I got to really control it. So.
Well, it's sometimes you hear certain characteristics of a singer's voice and you go, oh, that's so and so. And as I'm listening to your music, I'm going, I could see where I could identify, with you when you're doing that. You talked about the album, and we're talking No Way to Live. Is No Way to Live is going to be on the new album? Is that what it
Yeah,
sounds like?
that's the title track.
Okay. And what do we know when the album's coming out, or?
We're working. We just signed with Fret Bar Records, which is
Oh,
about
right on.
2-3 months ago.
Yeah.
We signed with Jimmy Warren Entertainment Group. So they're taking care of our tours, our booking, everything. So he's in charge of the album and the release, and we're looking at late January.
Cool. Late
Yeah, so
January.
there should be some press on that. I'm hoping sometime in the next couple of weeks, right, maybe before Christmas or right after Christmas.
Oh, we're
We
catching you. This is a good time we're catching you then. So right
Yeah.
on. Yeah. So late January 24. And you talked a little bit about touring, and it sounds like you've toured a lot overseas. Are you planning that? Are you doing stateside? Do we know yet, or is it too early? Or
There's some stuff popping up right now, and I'm waiting on some confirmations. I know we are starting at the Mercury Lounge in New York City, in Manhattan. That's coming January 19th. We're playing with a band called In Theory.
oh
Uh,
yeah,
yeah,
they were on the
we'll
show.
be, they're good guys. They're good guys.
Yeah.
This will be our first time playing together. We're supposed to do that Saturday and Sunday with them as well. Possibly the Monday. I'm waiting on the confirmation. Then late February, maybe Chicago, St. Louis, and then we will be back in Europe in October. That is the tentative time right now. We were supposed to be in Europe in this past October. We weren't able to pull it off. So we're looking at next October, and it'll be our third time going to Europe.
Right on. So we got the album coming out early. You're gonna start touring. We've already got tour dates that go into October. You're touring with our friends In Theory. That's awesome. I think the two bands together, you're gonna complement each other really well.
Yeah.
Just your styles and music. So that's really exciting. I wish I could be at that show. Now, so we're talking about album and tours. You have a website, colossalstreetjam.com.
Correct.
Really nice website, by the way.
It's
Really
getting
nice.
some updating right now. I have
Oh, really?
doing some more stuff to it because it needs to just flow a little bit better. But the new video will be up there, and all the new news and the tour dates and everything.
Yeah, like I'm seeing, we got videos, we got photos, we got the store, we got media, booking, we got a whole bunch of stuff. So it's really nice site. Is that the place fans should go if they want to get music? Or and I'm asking this because sometimes bands will say, no, go over here or go over there, or do they just start at colossalstreetjam.com?
They can start at colossalstreetjam.com. There'll be a link up for No Way to Live. Fret Bar Records has our past records up there, and and the single for No Way to Live, and we'll have the new record up there as well. And then your normal streaming services, Spotify and Amazon Music and everything. It'll all be up there.
Okay. We'll throw those in the notes, and I'll have the link in the notes for everybody that has been listening today. Look, man, I want to thank you for coming on the show. I know I can't keep you on here forever. And so before we bring things to a close, is there anything that you'd like to leave us with?
I'd like to thank you for having us. Well, having me and having the band on. Promoting our music, we appreciate it. And anybody that's out there listening, if they check out the band, we really appreciate it. And come see us live, because that's where we shine. Come see the band live, and we live up to our name, that's for sure.
That is Gene Potts of the Colossal Street Jam band telling us how it's no way to live without picking up your own copy of their new single. Gene, along with bandmates Sal Mara, Tony Flora, Dave Halpern, and Eric Safka, want you to be good to yourself and head on over to colossalstreetjam.com to check out their globally acclaimed music as you just take hold and start living free. I will have all their links in the show notes. Gene, thanks again. Best wishes on the new song, the album, the tour, and everything, and hope to have you back again.
Thank you. I hope to come back soon.
Take care.
Take care.